Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So this morning looks way better, way more exciting, a lot more greens, and that's because we got a CPI inflation reading, and it was actually good. So good, in fact, it's pumping Bitcoin and crypto, and we haven't seen a day like this for weeks. It's looking good. So let's talk about what was announced today and what more we can expect from this. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Look at that. We kind of got a God candle right here out of the blue, and now we're going a little bit higher. So we're at 64.3. Hey, we haven't seen this level for a couple weeks now. It seemed like we were down for forever and ever. Like we were down for 6 months and it was so bearish. But it was really just like a couple weeks, okay? But it is good to see we get some lively movement today, okay? I am zoomed in on a 1 minute chart, but you know, let's go to the 15-minute. But still, it's a good pump. We haven't seen it since back here. Right? And then you got a lot of great movers today, not only just for Bitcoin. Look at Stacks. Look at Sol. You know, I've been talking a lot about Sol. Look at Sol. And look at like Jupiter and AVAX. Everyone's having a good day, except the memes. Today, the memes are not moving. That's the interesting thing, and they may be moving soon. But this is all due to, and the U.S. market today is going to probably be hot. Yeah, all green, not too hot. And this is all due to this. So we had a surprise reading that shows inflation is easing. Now, this is highly suspect, or the kids would like to say sus, because we just had a PPI reading yesterday showing manufacturing inflation, which showed prices going upwards. It came in hotter than expected. And we had PCE reading like 2 weeks ago. And that showed we were coming in hotter than expected. Yet CPI today came out and said, no, we're under. We actually are going down. Inflation came in at 0.3% rather than 0.4%. So this is highly suspicious. I don't know how else you could describe it. You have two other inflation readings that show we're hotter than expected, and somehow we have one that's less hot than expected. So what is possible to do with this information, or is this part of the rigging process that we kind of all suspected was going to happen? They did remove coffee from the data. I don't know what else they removed, but it's just this is part of. I think this is part of the rigging process. But you know what? So be it. Okay, if they're going to fudge the numbers, at least fudge it in the right direction, which shows inflation's going down, which will help pump markets, pump Bitcoin, pump crypto, pump everything that's valuable, right? Except pump fiat. That's the thing. Fiat never gets pumped. There'll be more printed, but fiat will only decrease over time. Remember that. So even with artificial data, you still want to buy Bitcoin no matter what. All right, so this is the big news of the day. Inflation somehow came in less than expectation, which is great, but we all really know inflation's not really down. We're not inflation. Everything is still sky high in prices and services. I don't know how any of this data actually makes sense, showing that everything got cheaper. Nothing really got cheaper at all. You look at where we are now versus 2020 prices, nothing is cheaper. Nothing is the same. It's still very, very, very high. All right, the other big thing, of course, a lot of you guys want to know is what's happening with GME and AMC. It seems like both has fizzled. Right now, you can see trading halted. Now we have circuit breakers going in the inverse direction, which is actually a good thing. But what happened to all the what happened to the movement after 2 days? Now, now deep red. What happened to all the Wall Street bet guys? Where did the money go? You figure this is just go compound and get more and more shorts liquidated, sending the stock higher. But right now, no, it is down. And I don't know about AMC. And, I kind of thought maybe it would, there's still a chance. Maybe there's still a chance that this flips upwards, because Jim Cramer, who is the best inverse indicator, did say yesterday to sell GameStop and AMC, right? Cramer's like, hey, you need to sell, you need to take profits, is the responsible thing to do, and he really hates AMC. He thinks GME is better than AMC. But, usually when Cramer makes a top or a bottom prediction or call, I should say, that's when you do the opposite. It usually works out. But you know what? So we'll see. We'll see if GameStop actually reverses itself. But Bitcoin is looking strong right now, 64.5, and it looks like it wants to keep going. We consolidated enough. We need to start moving, right? All right. What else is there in relation to Bitcoin? Well, remember just a few days ago we had this one guy trying to sell a whole lot of Bitcoin on Coinbase, and Coinbase had some kind of outage. Well, it turns out that also was, I don't know if it's the same seller or someone else, but that was actually one of the largest outflow days from Coinbase. And it wasn't due to selling. It was actually due to someone buying nearly $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and Coinbase moving it out either into their custody service or into some cold wallet. That's enormous. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look at a bottom right-hand corner, you can see that red candlestick down or red line down. You can see it's massive. Okay, so again, when things are down, a lot of people don't want to listen, but I'm telling you guys, these big boys, these whales or institutions or companies, they're buying. No one is sitting on the sidelines these days. Everyone wants a piece of Bitcoin. Yesterday, I covered how a giant pension fund now, a state pension fund, is buying, 100 plus million of Bitcoin spot ETF. We're hearing that every single day. These entities are just loading up while prices are low. They all know Bitcoin is the future, and they all know inflation is only going to get worse. And look at this, Vanguard, arguably a bigger asset manager than BlackRock. I don't know how. Everyone says BlackRock is the largest asset manager on the planet. But every company I look at, Vanguard holds more of their assets than BlackRock. Vanguard is absolutely enormous. I think they're even bigger than BlackRock. But regardless, they're pulling in BlackRock executives, okay, that are Bitcoin friendly as well. Vanguard is not going to sit on the sidelines. Even though their CEO came out and said, no, we don't want to touch Bitcoin. Again, it's one of those situations where they say one thing, but they're doing another. They hold more shares of MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Mara, even BlackRock. They hold enormous amount of shares, more shares than even BlackRock does in all the Bitcoin traded companies. And now they may be getting ready to launch their own ETF and compete with BlackRock. Who knows? And whatever else they're planning, okay, they're all planning something. And it's going to be good for Bitcoin's price, but it's not going to be good for circulation, because these guys have trillions upon trillions of dollars. And when they accumulate really, really fast. And they're taking that out of supply from the people that actually really need to hold it, the retail investors. They're taking that away from the retail investors. But those of us that are in it, we're going to benefit because we're going to see the price go upwards. The supply shock that I've been talking about forever, it's only going to get worse. Here's another one. Here's another person or entity. Fund manager Pine Ridge Advisors discloses spot ETF holding $205 million in a new filing. That's 23% of their $890 million assets under management. So you have a fund manager that loaded up 23% of their assets into Bitcoin. Think about it. That's enormous amount. Not like a 5% or 10% holding, 23%. That's enormous. All right, what else is there? Let's see. Well, according to Willy Woo, to be immune from money printing, you need to beat 10 to 15% annualized return, the real rate of inflation plus monetary expansion. Bitcoin gets between 25 to 80%. Venture capital gets 20 to 30%. SPX gets 11%. Gold gets 8%. Bonds get 5%. Anything below the dash will make you poor in due time. So bottom line is you need to invest in assets with your fiat, okay? If you hold fiat for long periods of time, it will make you broke because everything around you that you will buy or can buy with fiat will only get more expensive. Okay, that's inflation, right? Basically, you're getting robbed of your buying power because everything from Bitcoin to stocks to real estate to gold to whatever, cars, they are going to get more expensive. They're not going to get cheaper. They only get more expensive. So stick with Bitcoin. All right, now a couple other things about Bitcoin. Looking at this, historically low volatility for Bitcoin. You can see the Bollinger Bands are squeezing. Whenever you get that squeeze effect, generally speaking, good things happen, which may be the reason why Bitcoin broke out today, right? We got that squeeze going, and it's still going. Still looking good. 65,000 right around the corner. So looking good with low volatility with that squeeze. And of course, we're still waiting for the parabolic rally to happen. Hey, the last few times after having an event, we had 140 days, 180 days, 170 days of choppiness. Then moonshot time, okay? So we're about 65 days chop. So does that mean we got another 100 days or maybe 80 days left of chop? Yeah, maybe 2-3 months. Even if we go sideways, like I said, around this 63.7 mark, we go sideways for 3 more months. Who cares? Who cares? Because once the rally kicks in, no one's going to remember any of this choppiness, okay? People only remember the gains, and the gains are going to be so massive and so plentiful, it's going to make you forget everything else. That's when you actually feel dirty. And we had a little bit of that earlier this year, right? You're just like, your portfolio is going so high, it makes you feel dirty, like you're doing something wrong. You're going to feel a lot more of that when we get into the parabolic phase, okay? So we just have to be patient and give it a little more time. It's going to happen. Here's something else, short term. Cup and handle reversal pattern. And what does that mean? That means when we get out of this, the next target could be around 80K, right? 80K, 100K. Basically, if you look at that, yeah, that's a giant cup and handle. And usually when you break out of it, really good things happen. Okay, you have a couple targets. The first target will be high, second target even higher. So looking good. And then what else is there? Here's something else too. Again, there's endless scenarios, okay, even from a technical standpoint. I generally concentrate on macro and fundamentals, but even from a technical standpoint, a lot of these charts, a lot of these metrics and indicators show that Bitcoin is getting ready to explode. And here's another one, the BBWP indicator. I mean, it just looks like we're at that point after like a dip or consolidation period. We're at that point once again, and maybe we got to wait a few months. That's quite okay. What's another 2 months to wait versus, we've been waiting for how many years already, right? So, looking good. What else? Just the final few things. Robinhood enables Solana staking in Europe. See, there's so many things like this that happens across the world, but is not available in the U.S. because of Gary Gensler. Can't wait until Gary Gensler gets removed from office, because staking does not consider something a security. But right now, that's Gary's definition, right? So we need to get rid of him soon. But this is good overall for Robinhood users in Europe. What else is there? Over 1 million new crypto tokens have been launched since April. I still remember the days when we only had like 10,000 tokens or coins altogether. Now we have millions upon millions upon millions. There's a million new tokens just in a month. It's absolutely crazy. But you know what's good about this is opportunity. So for those of you guys that feel like, I missed out, you know, like, look at this. Look at this meme that pumped up to 100 million. I missed out. I feel like a loser because I didn't get in. Or look at this one. I hit $1 billion. Why didn't I know about it? Why didn't anyone tell me? The beauty of being in crypto is there are always new coins coming out and new opportunities, right? You never truly miss out. As long as you stay patient and you wait and you keep your eyes open, you can get into something that gives you 100x, 1000x. It will happen. And because that parabolic rise didn't come yet, when it does, the opportunities are even more plentiful. And you see everything start moving upwards, right? So the good thing about this is, yes, you will always get a brand new opportunity basically every single day, every single week, every single month from here on out, because there are so many being created. I'm not saying all of them are good. Most of them are not good. But there are a few gems that you always find in the batches that come out. So as for GME, you know, it was GME meme coin. It did hit as high as 150 million, and it is still being listed on several exchanges like Bitmart, but I believe GME is not doing so well today. Fallen back down to 85, 86 million. Seems like the GME AMC craze has died down. I don't know if it's going to pick back up. I hope so. It was fun. It brought a few days of joy, and a lot of people made a whole bunch of money. So I hope it can. But right now, with the stock, endless circuit breakers right now. I know everyone was complaining about circuit breakers on the way up, and I did too, but circuit breakers on the way down, I guess they're serving a purpose, but I don't know why everyone is panic selling GameStop right now. It makes no sense after everyone drove it upwards and now it's going down. Unless everyone's putting money into Bitcoin. You know, maybe that's why. They're all selling to buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin's hot today. It could be that. And it's still looking good. And the entire market is up 3%. Got a lot of great movers today. I mean, literally everything is in green today. Except memes. Yeah, like Pepe is still not moving. A lot of the memes that were doing very good. WIF is not green. Yeah, most are in green. All right. Let's do some Q&A. JJJS, do you worry of profit taking and Bitcoin goes the F off? Yeah. That's why it's so hard to take profits. Everyone deals with this. When you're making a ton of money with Bitcoin, with Sol, with anything, no one ever wants to sell, right? And I get that. But as long as you have cash on the side, you're okay. That's the thing. That's why it's important to have cash on the side. That way you can just keep your money in the market and not really worry. Dan, the crypto man, is this a combo breakout from the falling wedge into an inverse head and shoulder pattern to a long-term pop? You're asking way too many technicals. This is just due to Bitcoin consolidating for a while, and then you have good CPI news, which is causing Wall Street to put more money into it, and that's it. It's really that simple. Yeah, there are patterns. Let's see here. Let's see. There are rumors that Gary would declare ETH a security. Okay, it's just a rumor. And stop spamming that. Bob is asking, any chance of a final new home video, fully furnished and cars in the garage? You know, probably not, to be honest. I may show bits and pieces of the house, but not the whole thing due to some security concerns. So, but yeah, it'll be nice to show like parts of the house that I'm proud of. I'll have to start up the I Am George channel again. I haven't posted there for a long time. Gus, would like to know your process as far as coin tokenomics and research. Want to learn as much as possible. I don't know what you're asking. I mean, like, I kind of get it. Like, oh, what do you look for? What makes something good and what not? I mean, here's the thing. There's too many scenarios. You look at something like Bitcoin that has a finite supply. Obviously, that's the best. With most proof of stake coins, they don't have a finite supply. There's always inflation because they need to pay out the stakers or the nodes. So that's one thing to look at. But like how much is being circulated versus how much is held because they will be released later. You know, that's a little concerning. You see a lot of projects releasing a whole bunch of tokens after a couple of years. It dilutes the market more, you know, stuff like that. I mean, there are a lot of stuff. I can't name everything, but those kind of like the basics. Do you have any older model trucks? No. Growing up, I always loved the Ford Lightning. Okay, not like the new Lightning, the older performance one. I've always thought that was the coolest truck. And I would still like to get that. They have held their value pretty well. But I still think the first generation Ford Lightning. No, I think that's second generation. They had a first generation that was really old, but the ones that I grew up with, I think the 2000s, I would love to get that. Hey, Crypto Crow is here. Welcome. Crow, you excited about the new IFC? IFC 2? Well, I don't think we really put out the cards yet. We just got the cards done, but I think it's going to be very exciting. If you're going to be in consensus, definitely show up. Yeah, Ellie is going to kick ass. Actually, to be honest, that's the fight I'm most looking forward to. I hope her opponent actually is prepared because Ellie looks like she's going to dominate. But I spent some time with her in Dubai. She's really down to earth, really, really awesome to talk to, and she knows how to kick butt. Do you expect memes? Stan asked, do you expect memes to outperform? They have been, except today. Seems like the money flew into the others, which is fine. We need some legit projects to also go up too. We can't just have memes go up without having the underlying chains go up too. Are you still buying Lego? I haven't bought any sets for a while. But yes, I'm still eyeing the new ones. Alex says, I'm excited for IFC. High chance I'll be there with the big red team. Great. Great. Is Charles going to fight? I'd love to get him to fight. A lot of leaders want to fight him. I'd love to get him to fight Anatoly of Solana. I think that'd be a good fight. But I know others. I talked to Sonny of VeChain while in Paris, and when I explained the IFC to him, he's like, "Yeah, get me a fight with Charles." Seems like a lot of people want to fight Charles. Joseph, did you talk with Meg? She said she would fight. I've talked to her many times before. She kept declining. So I don't know when she said that, but she kept denying. I got a lot of girl fights lined up. Obviously 2 in consensus, but there will be at least 2 in the next 2 IFC fights, and they're all great. Like, they're all great fighters. And they're all in the industry. So, love to get Meg to fight, but she has turned down every time I've asked her, all my invitations. Crow, go talk to Charles, man. Everyone else been telling me, like the guys. Gen Z, media, and who's the other guy? The guys who throw the Rare Evo conferences. They both say they're in Charles' year, but I've never heard anything back. Can I be a backup against the Friar Festival? Crow, if you're really serious, I do have someone that I'm really a huge Bitcoin maxi that I'm trying to get to fight. During the Bitcoin conference. He's massive. So if he agrees, there's no one else I could really pair him against. So if you're interested, but yeah, I don't think you want to fight Billy. I think that'd be way too easy for you. Muji, what do you think about ApeChain L3 on Arbitrum and ApeCoin to be used as gas? I don't know. I kind of gave up on ApeCoin. The whole thing, with their NFTs, with their token, never accounted. They never built it. I don't even get it. Like, the whole thing seems like a disaster. So until they build something great, I'm gonna say no. Do I future trade? Abdul says, yes. Yes, I do. Sometimes I make good money. Sometimes I lose my ass on futures trading. But, if you're a good trader, you can read the charts. Or you're a momentum trader, like today was a good day. There are opportunities. And Unix is my partner, so check him out. After I become a Kronos millionaire, you're invited to my party. Sure, invite me onto your yacht. Jennifer, yeah, I've heard about it, but I'm not gonna check that out. Just due to the name. Ivan says, bro, I was up so much money. I'm glad I exited. Well, good. You mean you close your long? It's finally good to see some excitement back, right? Like we've been hovering down here for way too long. Like just nonstop drops and manipulation. It's good to see a little bit of momentum. I know we're not fully back yet, but if you guys think about it, 64,000, we're only 5,000 away from our previous 2021 high. We could hit that in no time. And we, quite honestly, we didn't stay at 69,000 for very long either. So we're still in very good shape. It's just the problem with crypto is we get so used to a level so fast. And then if even we come down a little bit, we think, oh, it's bear market or winter again, right? Just because we came down from 73 down to 64 or even down to 60 or 56 or whatever, we retrace a little bit, does not mean that the bull market is over. By no means. T.I. says, if Charles fights, it could help Cardano, but he has to win. He's still a fairly young guy. Even though he looks like he's older than me, he's much younger than me. So if he starts training, you know, a lot of people I talk to, I mean, most people are not fighters. People in IFC, they're not fighters. They're not born to be fighters. It's just normal influencers or project leaders. But there are people that have told me after they start training, they love it because they get into shape and they're doing something that is actually making them more healthy and giving them a reason to kind of continue. You know, there's a lot of side benefits. As long as your body could hold up, you know. Crow, you say you're a lover, not a fighter, yet you like pounded Moon Daddy to the ground. Chris says, once you retire, please bring an FA to Pontiac, Michigan for a track day. It's really fun. I could consider that. I don't know how far away that is, but if it's within a few hours, I would do that. Does the price have to drop for the miners? Well, they're struggling. They're kind of struggling right now because it's twice as difficult or twice as expensive to mine a single Bitcoin because of the halving event, right? So instantly their base cost went from, it was like, I heard like 25, 26,000 to now like 52,000, 53,000. So, but it's still profitable because Bitcoin is still at 60 something. Sorry to hear that, man. You're not the only one I've said that. I mean, I know Grady says his knee is like completely messed up. And some of the other guys, even Moon Daddy said that like his calf is messed up. So, yeah, sorry to hear that. But I hope it was memorable. You did very well. Your video will be out on the internet forever. Does Consensus Pass get you into Karate Combat? Yes. If you have a Consensus Pass, you could redeem free Karate token. I mean, not free. Karate Pass. Karate Combat Pass. So, I don't know how you do it. It's through their website. I think there's a certain... You log in and you just get a free pass. I don't actually know the process. I was just told that, and other people have told me they have redeemed. Crow, I can't give you the name yet because he hasn't confirmed, but he's a big Bitcoin guy. If I said the name, you would know. Okay. he's not as big as you, but he's still massive. He's 6'4", about 230, 240. So, and all muscle. Okay, like if you look at him, he's jacked. So that, you know, you may be able to interpret who that is. But um, he has not agreed yet. But I'm working on him. Josh, Josh, be nice. Come on now. I'd love to get Alex Becker for Singapore. I got some big names for Singapore. That one is going to be absolutely nuts. It's going to be so insane. Yeah, so it's gonna be good. I mean, they're all gonna be good. From here on out, karate is taking it really serious now with the IFC. With the first one, they weren't so serious because I don't think they knew what they signed up for, but now they're fully committed. Every single IFC fight is gonna get bigger and better. Um, and I'm always looking for new opponents. And I like to bring some old opponents back. The people that fought in IFC 1 and after IFC 2, some of the winners, bring them back to IFC 3 and 4. Michael Saylor's not that chat. Michael Saylor versus Peter Schiff. Like, I'm sure even though they're both billionaires, that would be the fight of the century if they took that. Gus, new member, welcome. Alper, new member, welcome. I've asked Ben Collin before. Well, at least one of his secretaries. I didn't know he actually trained. If he's a grappler, he could be a good one. But karate combat really isn't for grappling. But they're starting to. They're starting to think about adding more grappling matches. What is going on with GME? Where are all the GME guys? You know, the ones that said, "Hey, let's destroy all the hedge funds." What happened to them? Why is GME down so much today? So IFC 3 is going to be during the Bitcoin conference in July. So all of these are with major conferences. IFC 4 will be in Singapore in Token 2049. Get the Altcoin Daily Brothers to fight one another. I've already asked them multiple times. They turned it down. Sid, shout out from Philippines. Welcome, my man. What do you think about the miners' riot and Mara? If you're asking from an investment perspective whether I like the stocks, I say no. I'd rather buy MicroStrategy or Coinbase over them. If you're asking in general, I think they're fine. They're mining away, expanding, helping Bitcoin's network get stronger. But from an investment standpoint, MicroStrategy has outperformed them by a lot. Damien, what kind of name is that for a new meme? I know you didn't create it, but that's just silly. That's just really silly. Um, See if Steven Seagal, he's hiding out in Russia or wherever he is. You know, his tournaments are so funny. I'm sure he has real skill, but like the guys he always gets to fight him, they just like fall with any little touch. I never understood those kind of tournaments. Um, and I forgot what martial arts he practices, but it looks really silly. And he's a big guy. Like he gained so much weight. He must weigh like 400 pounds or 350. Yeah, you know, he's absolutely huge. Aikido, yeah, that's what it is. I've seen some of those Aikido tournaments he's in, right? Where he gets like five guys to run at him and he just like does a little arm thing and they just like fall and flip over and you know, this doesn't seem realistic. Oakland Daily Bros versus Michael and Jason Pizzino brothers would be amazing. I know those guys are really in fit. I know Jason. I spoke to him like years ago. He's a really fit guy. Oakland Daily Bros, they won't do it. I've tried. I've tried so hard. I met them a couple times. You know, even an inkling of interest, they're not showing. So they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. With Pizzino brothers, if they're interested, if you guys are fans of theirs, ask them. I would love to get them into the IFC. The martial arts he practices. Please look at Doge. What about Doge? Yeah, Doge has not done that well. They peaked around here, March. It's been a couple months of downward movement. We need Bitcoin to go back into the 70s, then everything will be back in their all-time highs again. But today's a good start. At least we pumped above 63.7, right? We have not been able to hold above here. You know, we kind of just drop back down. But if we can hold and build a support, that would be absolutely fantastic. Jorge says, saw Mike Magellak. I don't know how to say his last name. Did he just say Big Mike? Was promoting Karate Combat at the George Janko podcast. Yeah, I was sitting next to him. I'll be sitting next to him in the next Karate Combat fight. Because when it comes to IFC, I do the commentary or help with the commentary, or because none of those guys really know anything about crypto or the IFC guys. I sat with him in Mexico City too. Pretty nice guy. I was throwing some jabs at him, but I think he was a good pickup for Karate Combat because he's very well connected, obviously, with non-crypto influencers, some of the biggest ones, and he's been sharing and talking a lot about Karate Combat. So hopefully that helps draw in more people, right? Not just crypto people, but just like everyone else. Velodrome is an Aerodrome competitor, but better. I thought they were the same company. It's just on different chains. Philip says, what is the IFC? What happened to UFC? IFC is the Influencer Fight Club. That's something that I created with Karate Combat. It's a league with influencers, basically. Influencers fighting each other. James asks, hey George, if DeFi summer was last cycle, what narrative do you predict this summer? Memes, meme summer. Memes are gonna be a big part of the cycle. It's not just this summer. It's just gonna be this entire cycle. Real boss man, BTC liquidity. What do you think about liquidity below recent lows, acting as support in the next bear market? Don't this make sense to you? I don't know what liquidity you're talking about. But it does make sense, but I don't know what liquidity you're talking about. Crypto Lifer brags about previous fights. I've asked him to fight too, and he turned it down. All these guys you guys are telling me about, I already reached out to them, and they all said no. That's the thing. I'm having easier time now, to be honest, with female influencers. Because a lot of them have been training and they think it's an awesome idea and they love it. I'm having an easier time with the women influencers than the men, because all these men, these guys, they're like, oh yeah, you know, they talk a big game and then they're like, I can't do it, you know, I'm too old, my wife won't let me, which I get. Again, not everyone's a fighter and people have injuries, I get it, but so many are just turning it down. Presidential coins, I'm going to stay away from them, although I know like Trump has done really well, Biden has done really well, but I'm going to stay away from them, and they're so big already. Wendy, I've asked her before, she said no. Becker I can't get a hold of, but he's only a jiu-jitsu guy, he's a grappler. I was going to pair Roger Ver with him because Roger Ver wanted to fight, but now he has his own problems with the IRS, so I don't think he's going to fight anymore. All right, guys. To conclude, we had a good pump. It's still early. It's very early. We can certainly continue. So I like to see where we are or where we will be by the end of today. So stay strong, my friends. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And tonight is DCA day. We'll check out my DCA portfolio as well. All right, take care. Bye-bye.